Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and in this video I'd like to show you some books. I acquired quite a few books in the month of January. I went to 3 fill-a-bag book sales, and I think early February I did a book haul, which I just called my January book haul, but all that really was just the general fiction, literary fiction, miscellaneous books that I acquired during the month, because I still need to show you the cozy mysteries and the romance and the Christian fiction and whatever else that I purchased or acquired in the month of January. And in February so far, I skipped one fill-a-bag sale that I love to go to, but I just had too many other things going on, and I took a deep breath and I said, I'm not going to go. So I didn't go. Yesterday I went to a fill-a-bag sale, but it was the end of the second day by the time I got there. So there wasn't that much left. I picked up a few things. I forgot my Kindle, so I didn't even have my book catalog. So I ended up picking up a couple things that I already had, but they're things that I can probably resell at the used bookstore. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to show you some books today. I think what I want to do in this haul video is romance. So I have quite a bit of Christian fiction, and some of those are romance, but I'm going to put those separately. I do have a couple of love-inspired books that I'll include in this haul, but for the most part, these are going to be mass market paperback romances from some of my favorite authors, and one is a trade paperback romance that's a Christmas book that's an author that I don't recognize or have never read, but it looked like a cute book. So I'll start with that one, and then the rest of them are going to be mass market paperbacks, mostly of authors I've read and like. So this one, have you ever heard of this? It's a Christmas book. We'll Always Have Christmas by Jenny Hale. I think I've heard of her. It says it's a gorgeously uplifting Christmas romance. So I love Christmas books, and I just couldn't hardly pass that one up. And almost all the books that I got in January were part of a fill-a-bag sale. So I didn't pay much at all for all the books that I'm going to be showing you over the next few book hauls. So then I have read one book by Lori Wilde. It was the first book in the Twilight Texas series, and I wasn't that crazy about it, and I've talked about this before. But then after that, I started seeing more of the Twilight Texas books, and they look so cute, I just started collecting them. I don't even still have that first book anymore, which I think was called The Sweetheart Knitting Club. But now, anytime I see Twilight Texas books, if I don't have them, I grab them. And quite a few of them are Christmas themed, so a second Christmas book in this haul is by Lori Wilde. It's A Wedding for Christmas. So I don't even think I wrote down what number this is in that series, but it's farther down. Number 7. So not too far down. Okay, then let me show you. I'm trying to decide what I want to show you next. I got 3 books by Jody Thomas. She is one of my favorite romance authors. She always writes about Texas. I got one that I've already read, and then 2 that I haven't. The reason I got this one that I've already read, and I don't even really like this one, it was my least favorite in the series. It's called Texas Princess, and it's book 2 in the Whispering Mountain series, which is a series of 7 books, I believe. Anyway, I have most of these, and I will be passing them on to somebody at some point whenever I find the right person to give them to. And I don't like to give people partial series, so I didn't already have this one. It was part of a fill-a-bag sale, so I just grabbed it so that I can include it with the series whenever I do give it to somebody. And then 2 more by her. These are from the McLean series, books 3 and 4. So book 3 is To Wed in Texas, and book 4, Twilight in Texas. I don't know anything about that series, but I have now read the Complete Harmony series, the Complete Whispering Mountain series, and a few standalones by Jody Thomas, and there's very few that I have not cared for. I have loved almost everything that I've read by her, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue to collect her books because I enjoy them. And then I have 2 books by Geralyn Dawson. If you've heard me talk about her before, Geralyn Dawson is Emily March. She writes under the Emily March name now, I think because of a publishing change. She does not write under Geralyn Dawson anymore, and our library doesn't have but maybe 3 books by her. And I did read some of her books that were kind of prequels to the what is it called? Eternity Spring series that she writes under the name Emily March. And so then I just started picking up books by her when I saw them. So these were part of the fill-a-bag sale that was at my own local library in January. It was fill-a-bag for $1. And this one is The Bad Luck Wedding Night. And it is book... Okay, this is part of a smaller series, and the series that it's a smaller part of is part of a bigger series. So, and I can't remember now which is which, but of the Bad Luck Wedding series, it's number 5, and of the Bad Luck something that starts with an A, it's number 3. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, if you look it on Goodreads, you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's, you know, it's one series that's a part of a bigger one. Then this is a standalone, I believe, the Pink Magnolia Club. So I don't know anything about those. And then I got a Debbie Macomber book. I don't really collect Debbie Macomber, although I've read a lot of her books. But I got this one because I already have Orchard Valley Grooms, and this is Orchard Valley Brides. Each of these two, the Orchard Valley Grooms and Brides, contains 2 books that I think are called the Orchard Valley series, and they were originally published as 4 books. Then later they bound them in these 2 editions, and so this is what I have. If you look at it on Goodreads, you'll see that it is this contains books 3 and 4 of that 4-book series, and then Orchard Valley Grooms has the other 2. The Orchard Valley Grooms book is so cute. It's got a cover on it of a wheelbarrow full of apples, and that's what drew me to it in the first place, because I'm always drawn to apples. I don't know why. And then I have one more here by Shirley Jump, When Somebody Loves You. And the reason I picked this up is because it says it's a Southern Belle Book Club novel. And I was pretty sure that that was a series that had a novella in this book that I've shown you this quite a few times. The book is called Ask Me Why, but it's got 4 novellas, and one of them is the very last book, 8.5, in the Harmony series. And that's the only one I've read out of here so far, but I remember that it had a book by, or a novella by Shirley Jump, and it's 0.5 in this series, and this is book 1. And so far it looks like that's all there is of this series, but I could read the whole 1.5 books in the series now. And then I have 2 that are love-inspired. One is a really old love-inspired. My mom used to read Jane, I think it's Jane Peart. I don't know if it's Pert or Peart. But I have some other books by her. She has an Orphan Train series that I own. I think that my mom gave me. And I've read 1 or 2 of those. Or maybe it's just called The Orphan Train by Jane Peart. No, I think there's 3 of them. Anyway, I think I've read the first one, and it was really good. So I recognized this author, and I decided to pick this up. This is called The Risk of Loving, and let me put my glasses on and see what year this is from. This is an early, old love-inspired book that was published in 1997, so the year before I got married, which in the big scheme of things doesn't seem that long ago, but it was 23 years ago. And then I got this at the used bookstore, and this is book 3 in the Military Canine Unit series, Love Inspired Suspense. It's called Top Secret Target by Diana Mentok. The reason I got this is because last year at March Mystery Madness, Jane Catherine on Books hosted a read-along of the first 2 books in this series. I read the first one finally, and I really enjoyed it. And I have the second one, and I just saw this on the shelf at the used bookstore and decided to go ahead and pick that up because I would like to read that whole series. Okay, that is everything for this romance book haul. I've got 4 kind of classic books, and I don't know if I should save them or if I should show them to you now. If I later do a classic book haul, because I have these 4 plus 1 more that's a middle grade classic, and then if I add any more to that, I'll eventually make a whole haul video of classics. But I just want to show you these right now. I just got these yesterday at the Fill-A-Bag for $3 sale, and these are some random books by Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote Anne of Green Gables, and there were a few there of some of the Anne books, but those are a dime a dozen, and everybody knows about Anne, and hardly anybody, I think, knows about these. I mean, a lot of people know about them, but not nearly to the extent of Anne of Green Gables. So I just grabbed these. I already have these on my shelf, but at some point, you know how like I did the video about Jane Karen and all of her books a year ago. And then just recently I did the whole thing with Laura Ingalls Wilder. Well, Lucy Maud Montgomery is another one of my most favorite authors. So I have in mind at some point in the future to do a video about all of her lesser known works. And these are some of them. Now this one's a little more familiar, and this definitely is a romance. Kilmeny of the Orchard. It's a very little book, but it is a very sweet book about a young woman who is mute. And then this is one of my favorites, Jane of Lantern Hill. Again, this one is probably a little more widely known. And I think there was a movie of that one. And Magic for Marigold, I think is not that widely known. It is a standalone. I remember reading this and really enjoying it, but I couldn't tell you anything about it right now. These are some books that I need to reread. And then Mistress Pat. I believe that Mistress Pat is the sequel to Pat of Silverbush. And I think I have 2 copies of Pat of Silverbush. So kind of what I was thinking to do with these at some point when I do ever do a video or a series of videos about Lucy Maud Montgomery, then maybe I can use these as giveaways or something. Maybe. I'm certainly willing to share them. It's not like I spent a lot of money on them. They were part of the Fill-A-Bag for $3, and they're all in really nice condition, hard to find, and so I didn't want them to get like thrown to the winds or thrown away or donated somewhere where nobody would know what they were. So I saved them. Anyway, so that's it. That is all for this video. Like I said, I do have some other romance books that are Christian romance or Christian fiction that may include some romance. I will show those in a different video. So for now, since it's February, I thought, you know, before February's over and it's the love month, I should do my romance book haul. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you are having a great day, read a good book, and God bless you.